All right, all right. What's up, guys? It's Tone Sutter here. I'm making my first video. It's been a minute, I think. I know I've been doing a lot of shorts most of the time, but this one I just wanted to come in with the season opener, Week 4 versus the Green Bay Packers. But before we get to that, right? Um, I want to talk about Week 3 and what I thought about it. And I know how I said in my short that this is all about collecting data because I call week 1 preseason one, week 2, week 3, so on. You know what I'm saying? So now we're here at the season opener in my eyes as the way I see it, in a sense because we didn't play the starters, right? Throughout preseason, the actual preseason. So this is like the starters preseason. And what have we collected from this data for these first 3 weeks in the regular season is that one, we came close to beating the Philadelphia Eagles. Catch we could have caught them off guard week 1, but we didn't come through, right? With the fumble, that was to me that was the end all be all. Even though we still had at least two more chances to even close the game out. Then we come with the barn burner in week 2 versus the Giants that nobody saw coming in overtime, and we took that down to the wire in overtime. I mean, it's not like we got into overtime and got it done. So it took us like what 2 chances then. So we all know this, and we all saw how the defense crumbled and gave up a lot of big points. But I've commented on that already because like I said, if Giants didn't shoot themselves in the foot on the first 2 drives because they easily been down 14-0. And then why I'm saying that because um, it leads over to playing the Chicago Bears and Caleb Will. And then you look at what happened with us having a soft practice. For one, that's one thing, having a soft practice, and then um, and then going to play and expecting these guys to play hard when they haven't been playing all preseason long, and they'll get their feet wet finally the first 3 weeks of this game, and y'all, and it's like that week 3, you might as well just like that's a burn. We just burnt. That was a burn away game. Just throw that one away. There was really not no practice involved other than walkthroughs. And these guys have continuously shown us that they have a tendency to start slow. And that's why I titled it Team ED, meaning energy deficient. You know, even on defense, the whole team has an energy deficiency. And I don't know what it is. I really don't. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's team chemistry. You can call these guys leaders in the locker room, and maybe they are, but something doesn't get these guys up, and particularly when they play at home. But then you saw them come out against Chicago in Chicago, establish a good running game, but then at the same time they start off slow. And this team got, and the matter of fact, the defense is the ones that we knew was going to be an issue coming into the game anyway. And this offense knew that it had to put up points and get on the Chicago Bears early and often. But yet they flipped it and got up on us 14-0, and then we had to claw our way back out of the hole. We spotted them 14 points, you might as well say. And we had to claw ourselves out of the hole. But then on top of that, you turn around and let them go back up 10 points before the half. So that's why I say this is a burnaway game. And now that leads to what I want to talk about is why everybody, some people, not everybody, was uh, in hindsight was against CeeDee Lamb running the ball out of the backfield and get himself injured. And I heard some of these podcasters and whatnot, nobody was saying anything last season with Mike McCarthy, with CeeDee Lamb running the ball out the backfield. So why worry about it now? And then some are like, CeeDee Lamb shouldn't have been running the football, right? Because Javonte Williams was running the ball good. Run him. Matter of fact, in my mind, you could have put in you could have put it. Oh my gosh, you could have put Blue in the game just to run that type of a run out of the backfield. Speed, shifty guy, and this is my argument with this because I agree and on both sides. I can see both point of views. So, but my point of view or pushback on the ones that was like, hey, uh, he was doing it last year and nobody was saying anything when he was making plays, right? True, CeeDee Lamb was a playmaker with the ball in his hands. I get that. But you got to remember, while you saying that, last year we didn't have a running game, right? So we was doing anything to create a spark in the running field, even using Turpin. As a matter of fact, I don't even want Turpin in the backfield because Blue can take care of that if you need Turpin. Now, you want to keep Turpin close to the line of scrimmage and let him get out in space, pass out of the backfield like an extended running play so he can finagle, wiggle and jiggle and make moves to make people miss and stuff. So I get it. Yeah, do it like that. But right now, Turpin is going to be an intricate part to week 4 as a wide receiver, right? Put him in the slot. Put him in the slot and let him get busy. So that way you can keep him close. You can keep him close and he can still get into the space, or you can stretch him. He can go deep, on a post route, something like that. So that's what it's going to be, man. But it's sad that we catching injuries right now with what BB out, Booker out, and I just got word that Guyton's out. I did forget to check to see if Clark was playing this week, but if he doesn't, I hope he does. Since I haven't checked, why we should be rallying for Clark, just like they're trying to make this whole storyline about Michael Parsons coming back home. This is no longer Michael Parsons' home. This is Kenny Clark's home now, and Kenny Clark should have just as much ammo as Michael Parsons for being traded, right? But yet we're too busy talking about Parsons coming into town, and Parsons going to be like this. Parsons going to do this. We know what he's going to do. We know what we let go. At the same time, this was best for Parsons and best for the team down the road. Parsons may be more in the short term for him that he's helping Green Bay. Let it go. But I said this, and I'm pretty sure others have as well, because I didn't realize how many cowboy content creators are out there. It's like, damn. And I probably said this before, like man, like this, it's a lot. That's all I gotta say. And more keep popping up. Oh, that's all. What's weird to me is that I've been doing this for 5 years, and I don't have half the views or subscribership or subscribers as they do. And I hate when my trailer does that. Just releasing air, so it feels like somebody hit my trailer or something. But anyway, the truck just starts shaking. Catch me off guard every time. But yeah, it just amazes me how these guys are up, and maybe they've been doing it longer than I have. But yeah, I would like for y'all to like, share, subscribe, because I do be creating my own content, coming up with my own titles at times. I'm not just giving you a news report out of out of some of the Dallas Cowboy bloggers and stuff like that, or every time when something dropped, like I don't have to be the first to report it. I just want to sit back and listen, but I also want to talk about what I see. Sometimes it's hit or miss. I mean, sometimes it just ain't always right. But I've been pretty solid so far, in my eyes, because the way I see how the Cowboys move, because I'm more of a team builder. And I think that's what we have in Shotty if we give them a chance. Because right now, y'all are starting to pile on. It's really unfair. Unfair for a rookie head coach who's been in the league for 30 years has finally has been given his shot, and y'all are calling for him, or at least calling for someone on the staff. Talking about you, Jesse. Yes, I'm talking about you. That you might have to fire somebody. Like, give it a break. Give me a break, bro. At one point in time, at what point are we going to talk about the players when they talking about they have simplified the defense down to just one name or one word, whatever? That's an indictment on the damn players. Grown men, professional players getting paid good money, on one of the most notable teams in all of sports. And this man and this owner GM pays them well. And these guys are not professional enough to know what y'all say is a simple defense before the dummying down. As a matter of fact, I can remember when Mike Zimmer got here, they had to simplify it. I remember when Dan Quinn got here, because he's a cover 3 defensive coordinator, zone right. He had to dumb it down to man cover 1. I remember when Mike Nolan was here and he wanted to switch it to 3-4, so D Law could be a stand-up guy, be a stand-up pass rusher, and all of that. These guys complained, got him out of here. And Mike Nolan's not a bad defensive coordinator. Of course, his success was in his past with the Ravens and whatnot. But still, the man knows defense. His defense was a success. And yet these guys are so spoiled, like Jadeveon Clowney said, they're spoiled. And the owner / GM is expecting these guys to be professionals and come ready to play every game. So when it comes now, circling it back to Shotty, where he wants to build culture, he is not going to be able to build culture with some of these players that are still here that were leftover Garrett guys and leftover Mike McCarthy guys now. Because as long as these guys can poo-poo on the defense because they don't like the defense because it's too complicated for them now, and y'all are former players saying that this is simple, this is elementary. But you gonna call for evil? You might have to call for Eberflus or someone on the coaching staff. No, as a matter of fact, I didn't even post this video. I got it saved and edited. I'm saying where I might disagree with you, but I get it, because on this video that I have saved, like, we might have to trade or cut some of these guys just to set a standard. Like, we not bullshitting with them. We're tired of this. In my mind, listening back to Jerry Jones in those interviews before Michael Parsons trade and post Michael Parsons trade, he said something about he finally going to make that change. And I think the change, Jerry Jones, if you're listening, if you're not on this level of thinking right now, you need to be, is that the these players are under a microscope. 'Cause why am I paying y'all when you don't have the proper study habit? All y'all doing is just coming to these team meetings and going home. Do whatever y'all do on your daily regimen, and there's nothing else left to it. Where if you're a professional, you're not going above and beyond your craft, which is why you're now exposed in being average. Which is why some of y'all are playing hero ball. Which is why I said Sandburn and Hooker, y'all should be the one. Y'all should be the glue because y'all played with Eberflus. That's what you said, Hooker. You said you knew the defense, but you out there with the rest of them mucking this shit up, and y'all not being sound on not being sound in tackling, not containing these mobile quarterbacks. Sometimes not even the running back, Leah Fowl. Y'all just doing too much or doing too much individual stuff. Back to hero ball. So last season when Micah and D Law was fussing on the sideline and then talked about too much hero ball, it was all of y'all. Jordan Lewis called it out. It's a lot of y'all out there going rogue, man. And that's unfair to us. That's unfair to the people that pay tickets to come see y'all not being professional. And now you telling me it has to be done. It has to be dumbed down even more. How low can Eberflus go? How low could Dan Quinn go? But keep it simple, but to have y'all play man and y'all couldn't even play freaking zone. Especially when Zimmer got in there. Y'all couldn't even play zone. We would never get to a championship. We would never have a championship level defense. When it comes to you guys that are not taking this serious, that when Shadi was saying that they was gonna make some changes, some switch ups, and that he was gonna take the defense, and they all was gonna sit down. That's what Hooker, that's what Sanborn, that's what Donovan Wilson, whoever's the leader these leaders on the team, y'all are not building any chemistry. That was the whole purpose of these guys doing ping pong in the room and in the arcade room or whatever, is to build that team chemistry. Y'all not doing it. Jerry Jones, this team and right now, because only week 3 has passed. We got week 4 coming up. I don't know. I'm just saying, in my opinion, these guys are not being professional enough. All they doing is just showing up and going through their daily activity outside of the facility, day in, day out. Practice hard. Don't practice hard. Rashadi already mentioned that. That goes back into last season with Mike McCarthy as well. He's saying these guys are telling you something. For the second time, we had a head coach saying that he felt like they left the practice lethargic. And that's Team ED. No lie. no lie, man. That's the thing about this team and this lack of energy. And so going into this season with the new head coach that has been here at least 2 prior years, so he knows the team and he's seen this lethargicness. That's why he's coming in with this culture build, with this team build, with this camaraderie build, um, to try to build team chemistry. It is just not working as it stands right now. One thing, I don't know why. Now, I don't know why y'all expecting just because Shadi is hyping up his team that we're going to get this done. Michael Parsons is just Michael Parsons. He's just another player on the Green Bay Packers, and they can be had. And he's right, they can be had. And at the same time, y'all feel like now he got to eat his words if it don't happen. It all depends on how he plays. He needs to pull one out the ass. He always gonna have to pull one out the ass with this team and these players, grown men that are making money, that are not being professional, that are not taking their game to the next level individually and team wise, and particularly on defense the most. So nobody, in my eyes, I know I wasn't expecting this team to do much this season, and pretty much, um, media outside of Dallas wasn't expecting this team to do much. But they had them at 7-9 at the least, and some of them had, yeah, some of them. And matter of fact, Vegas got them, got the money, got the future idea on the parlay, the bet, whatever. Whether if it's going to be 7+ or 7 under. What do you think? Because right now it looked like we're going to be 7 under, and then now we got our first, big dog coming in here as they seem, they're gonna be big dog for us because of the way we've been playing, of the way that we have been playing. So now you got Green Bay coming in here. Now you have the big storyline of Michael Parsons. I say the big storyline for us as Dallas is Kenny Clark. Get to play his old team that traded him. And he didn't even know that he was going to be traded. He didn't think it was him for Parsons. So we have some more. We have some bulletin. We have some bulletin board material to have someone to play for it, Kenny Clark. And this team is beatable listening to some of the guys that actually played the game and that or guys that have broken it down um, that their offensive line is in shambles. But that's kind of a wash because our offensive line is in shambles too. We have 3 guys down, along with our main wide receiver. Along with our main wide receiver. How are we going to win when everybody's playing individually on defense? How are we going to win this game when we can't run some zone? And if we play man, who's to say that Love won't carve them up in man in like a cover one like they did Dan Quinn's Commanders? But what I am going to say is that this is a new week, and that if they are putting in the effort to understand defensively what I'm talking about, we get Jadeveon Clowney added into the mix. We need somebody that can rally the troops on defense, man, because they have energy dysfunction. I don't even know if I said I'm kind of winging that. I don't even know if I said any dysfunction in the beginning. But this apple juice is good. So somebody need to rally the team because the offense comes out slow. The run game, because Shady third week versus the Bears, you didn't you can't do Javonte Williams like that. If we get it going, we can play a little bit of keep away, slow down this offense because this offense is going to be methodical because of the fact that they have uh, a weak line as well. We have a weak line, but let's talk about them. If we can get pressure up front, maybe it'll help the backfield a little bit because this is all out of whack. Because really, I said this in one of my shorts weeks ago or whatever. It's supposed to be our back end that's supposed to be the strongest, and right now they're not looking like that because since they're not the strongest and our front line is not getting the pressure from Fowler and Sam Williams, hopefully Jadavion can come in and help us apply pressure with Kenny Clark and Osa Digizua. You know, now our middle linebacker is looking like shit, which has been a weak link since Sean Lee left. Really, since Sean Lee, that's how long this linebacking core has been pretty suspect. Yeah, we had a little run with Van Der Esch and Smith, but we haven't had a stalwart, a staple, someone that can hold these guys accountable, someone that can put these guys in the position, someone that's going to be the communicator. We need that quarterback on the defensive side. I said this at the beginning, but during preseason training camp, and that's why I called out Sanborn. If you play with Eberflus and you've been knowing his defense, how do you not know how to put these guys in position? That's all I want to know. So, with that being said, can we beat the Green Bay Packers? Can we beat the underdogs? Can we pull off the upset, which would be in so many eyes? Nobody's expecting us to win. This is a big game for our wide receivers. George Pickens, just because you made that drop, brother. I'm sorry that it happened at the biggest moment when we needed you. But we're going to need you in this game as well. You got to shrug it off your shoulders. Tolbert, brother, what type of mentality do you have a mentality? What type of mentality do you have, man? I just want to know because I've been rooting for you, bro. Because I see the potential, and that your potential is just not average, man. Are you putting in the work? Are you putting in the work? Do you have a? I need you to have a deeperish attitude of like or a dog attitude that nobody can guard you. Because I like Turpin. Turpin is finally getting his due, man, and it's too late. We did it. We've been doing him like Tony Pollard. You had him just doing gadget shit. He's a wide receiver, and put more on his plate. He's definitely gonna need it. He's definitely gonna need it. Sunday night, and then we're gonna talk about Fergie. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I'm not a lover of Fergie, and I don't hate Fergie either. Um, he just needs to move the chains. if y'all gonna give him that amount of targets and catches, it got to be beyond 10 yards, man, or right below it, so he can turn around and move. He don't even do that no more. You remember that's what got us liking Fergie was when he was catching the ball and then he did that little step back or whatever, and he was making guys miss. Now we don't had a couple of injuries and everything. He got a payday, and we haven't seen nothing from him that wow you. I don't know about Schoonmaker. I would say Reverend Spanford, and if anything, with Schoonmaker, because he do have potential and a lot of potential to be more of a down the field threat, but the hands-eye coordination is just not there. Maybe we can sell him. Maybe we can trade him off and then bring up Rivaldo Green. Out of all of them, he's the one. I mean, damn, he was the leading catcher at Auburn and stuff like that. So we got hands, but then we saw the athleticism. Um, just so that we can bring him up and start developing him and putting him in some live reps. You know, so I don't know if we can do it. I'm optimistic because we don't know what team we have yet. Shot is trying to put a team together. Shot is trying to put a team that plays with physicality and toughness. Shot is trying to put a team together mentally, synergy wise. And he has a lot on his plate, guys. And y'all know this. And I don't know why some of y'all expecting a quick turnaround. This is not going to be a turnaround year. They're just taking what they have and making the best of it. This is what they have to cope with, and they're making the best of it. Will there be any adjustments, changes, switch ups? Yes, we're gonna try all of that. In the meantime, you kind of just have to wait it out, and we have to look more towards next season, next off season, and seeing what type of players we're going to get. Are we going to get more guys who have the mentality of a Tyler Booker? Because right now we're dealing with McCarthy's guys and some of Jason Garrett guys. And all I'm saying, guys, stop crying. Stop crying. It's going to be a tumultuous season as we see it starting off right now. But hopefully, some of these guys or these veterans will understand that their job is on the line. Maybe they don't want to be here. Their job is on the line, and y'all want to continue to not be professionals and be a loose booty defense like we've been seeing. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Remember, it could cost you your career. It might, because of all that, everything you put on film. You remember that. But this is Tone Setter, guys. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll be making more of these throughout the season. The season's going to be great to talk about. It's going to be great to team build because that's what I like to do. I like to build, but I'm an off-season guy. I like to draft and everything like that. But for the time being, we're going to talk about this team. We're going to dissect this team. All of us are. Across the whole spectrum of the Dallas Cowboys. To the far left, to the far right, and in between. Some of y'all are ridiculous, but hey, you're Cowboy fans. We all care. We all want to see our team win. We all want to see our team rise back to the promise, and get to the promised land. And I just want to see consistency and willing to dominate.